Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another one of my interviews here on Drip Talk with Blake DeSnake Roberts. Sorry for the long wait. Having internet problems. I do not. I can't promise a full interview because my internet might kick me out, but we're gonna try our best. So today I have a very special guest. He is a former pro wrestler. He has wrestled for the companies WCW, USWA, WCWA, EMLL, CMLL, AAA, Sin Limit, and much, much more. He is a former tag team partner to Mike Shaw, also known as Bastion Booger. He is no other than Solomon Grundy. So we'll get him on in here and we will start on with the interview. Hello.
Hey Blake, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Great, man, great. Just enjoying the hot weather in Texas, man.
Right. Yeah, it's hot up here too in Wisconsin, so
Oh, you're in Wisconsin. I
yep.
um I figured it'd be cooling down by now.
It was cooling down like last week a bit, and then this week it's getting even more
Well,
hotter. So
well,
yeah.
we're still at 97.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, it's still scorching here, man. So, but yeah. So what a how long you had your show?
I've been doing my podcast interviews way before COVID even started, so I was like really really young.
Wow, wow, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
you knew Mike when he lived there?
yeah, because I'm originally from Marquette, and so
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I heard his son was living there or something.
yeah, I met his son. I got a photo with him actually
Yeah. Does he look
at a
like him?
rest. Kind of the hair definitely does.
Uh,
And he's really tall too, so
well, yeah, I heard he was bartending or something. Uh,
oh, okay.
yeah, somebody was telling me he was a bartender or something. I'm like, oh wow. I figured Mike
Hmm.
could have, you know, I, I, I didn't think he would get him into business because Mike in the last wasn't enjoying the business. You know,
Yeah.
you know, we all come to that point like, oh my god, I had enough of
Right.
this. but did you have some questions? Or,
Yeah.
all right.
So the first question I'm gonna ask you is when did you start doing wrestling? What made you want to do it?
Well, I grew up uh, in Lubbock, which is all where the Funks wrestled, Funks and Dusty and Dick Murdoch and uh, Harley Race and Ricky Romero, and so we go to the Fair Park Coliseum every Wednesday night, man, and it just got in your blood, you know how it goes, man. That's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. I'm gonna do that. You think when you're a kid, it's like, oh, like dad driving a truck. I'll be, you really don't think of the other stuff that goes with it, but the traveling and you really don't think about any of that when you're a kid. But I always wanted to do it, and so finally in I guess '85 I started training here in San Antonio with uh, Tom Jones, and then I went up to the Wild West Training Center and finished training there, and had my first match with my first few matches were there. One was one of the first matches I had was in Texas Stadium. It was me and Buddy Jack Roberts, against Kevin Von Erich and Bruiser Brody.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. So it's kind of, you're thrust into that, and you're kind of, uh, you know, I hear guys say, "Wow, it's just another guy," but that's, when once you get inside the square, man, it's all that's out the window. Because those guys, you've seen them all your life on TV, and then there you are, they're right in front of you. You're kind of mesmerized, and then Brody hits you with a boot, and then kind of wake up, Oh yeah, yeah. He
Right.
he he kicked me so hard, man. I was had a concussion for 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember driving back from Dallas to San Antonio.
Mm.
So welcome to the business. Yeah. So, but it was
Right.
good. It was good. Uh, you know, we all got to take our lumps. Yeah. And so I stayed there. I guess a year, probably a year off and on, and they sent us to Kansas City with Bob Geigel.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
me, Missing Link, Jack Victory, Tatum, Link's kids, Missing Link's kids, Jason, uh, Vince Apollo, Buddy Jack Roberts. So we had a pretty good crew there, um, and worked all the carnivals. So
Wow.
they have a lot of fairs up there in August. So we worked all those little fairs, those county fairs. And it was good, man. It was nice. I mean, there's a lot of friendly people in Iowa and Kansas, and on up into all that Midwest. The people were real friendly. So I guess we were there about 6 months, probably. And that closed down because Bob didn't want to pay the guys.
Mm.
So I left and went to Tennessee for a while with uh, Lawler and Jarrett, and stayed there for a while, and then I went to Mexico and stayed there for almost about 6 years, probably. So
Wow.
pretty good, yeah. Uh, that's when I met Mike over there. Uh, I heard he was, had left or was let go at WCW, and I thought it would make a good thing there in Mexico, me and him, and so I called him and brought him in, So it worked out good, man. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so he was he liked to stir the pot though.
Really.
Yeah.
How was
He,
that?
he was a jokester, man. Yeah, he was always messing with Art Bar. You know who Art Bar
Oh,
is?
yeah.
Yeah. Because Art Bar was doing the pharmaceuticals, and he would fall asleep on a bus, and you couldn't wake him up. And Mike would just grab him by the shirt and slap him. I mean, hard, like leave a print, and he'd barely come out of it, man. And he was
Wow.
always putting stuff in his bag or just just always messing with him, peeing in his coke. Uh, because Art was, so goofy all the time. Uh,
Right.
but yeah, I don't, Mike had a hard time over there because of our size. It's a really it's a difficult place if you're if you don't want to be there anyway. It's even more difficult, because there's uh, it's nothing like here, and everything's hard. The language, the getting grabbing taxis and the bus seats and everything's smaller and you're larger, and it's a difficult life, man. But it's about like it's not as bad as going to Japan because I heard Japan's really like miniature, and
Yeah.
so I know he went to Japan one time or something, but it's not that small, but in some aspects, because in that time period, the taxis were Volkswagens.
Oh,
So yeah, they take the front seat out, and then the whole back seat. They had the whole back seat open, so uh, we'd ride in the back. We'd each grab a taxi. So yeah, it was pretty funny, man. But yeah, it was good there. I enjoyed it. The promoters were all good, better than some of the ones here in the states. Because
yeah.
sometimes here in the states they don't want to pay you, or whatever their excuses are. So, is there much wrestling going on in Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah. There's actually quite a bit. Not
Are they
like big.
are they doing any lucha up there?
Um, no, like lucha, like actual companies,
Yeah, yeah.
but there's like companies, a lot of companies all over Wisconsin
Oh,
that do promotions and
yeah, 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 yeah.
stuff.
Well, lucha got pretty big here in the states. It's really grown.
Hmm.
It's really grown. With I guess with Ray and Eddie and that group of guys that come out of there, and uh, they doing the lucha. It really has taken off here, like here in Texas, and I guess maybe Florida, or you know Oklahoma, maybe a little bit, but we're closer. We're closer to the border, so uh, there's more of that going on because it's they're I guess well there's some guys in Dallas. They're bringing in some guys from Mexico City, from CMLL,
Oh, really? Okay.
AAA, and so it's pretty good. Uh, I went to a couple of shows in Dallas not too long ago with me, Dos Caras, and Mathematical. I don't know
Oh,
if you
okay.
know who they are, but
Yeah.
well, Dos Caras is the uncle of Alberto.
That's right. Yep.
Uh, so that's pretty good. They gave me a Hall of Fame ring, so that was nice.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Yeah,
so
that's great.
all my years into lucha, so that was nice. So what? So you started your podcast a little before COVID.
Yeah, about like actually like way
You
before
there?
COVID. Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
You can't hear me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Hello? You still can't hear me?
Moving, but no sound. You hear me? I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I heard something.
Hello?
Okay, there you go.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Was your mic
All
unplugged?
right. No, it was because it shines blue, and I unplugged it a little bit
Oh,
before and plugged it back in, and it still didn't work. And I just did it again, and now it's working.
no, it's working. I heard it crackle.
Okay, yeah, that was probably me unplugging it.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably because I couldn't hear nothing. I saw your lips moving, but I don't know what you were saying.
Yeah, the people in the chat could hear me. They were saying, so I don't know.
Well, well, we'll you know, I think it's wires and electricity. Anything can go bad. Yeah.
Right, and it doesn't help that my internet's not really working.
How come you have problems with your internet?
We don't really have the best internet
Uh, it's where you're located.
system. Yeah, we're out in the country,
Oh
and we
yeah.
don't get really good signal. Definitely
Uh-huh.
when other people come out, and it's just it's not just us that has problems, it's other people with their internet. It
Oh,
always goes out. Our
oh,
TV doesn't work. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. There's still a lot of places here, like that. Bad, bad, sir. They just can't get it not working.
Yeah.
Um, how long you been following wrestling?
Probably since like early elementary school cuz a friend got me into it.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
it's addicting.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I started. My aunt would take me when I was, I guess, maybe 4 years old, and
Wow. Yeah.
e- every Saturday, they wrestling came on TV then, so every Saturday, Saturday morning, you're in front of the TV, uh,
Right. Yeah.
and then Wednesdays, you're down there at the Fair Park Coliseum watching wrestling. It's, and I actually got to go back and work in my hometown, which was and at the same building that I used to go and watch it. So that was pretty ironic. I'm like, damn, this place is still up.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Chris Adams ran a show there, and I was on. Chris Adams, me, Killer Tim Brooks, uh, Terry Gordy. I don't know who all was on that thing, man, but yeah, it was pretty. I'm like, man, I can tell you where I used to sit, and all that. It's kind of wild. Uh, that was a good memory. But
Yeah.
because not, I guess maybe not a lot of guys can say, yeah, I used to come here and watch it, and then now you're back here working. That's kind of wild.
Right. Yeah.
So what part of Wisconsin are you in?
I'm in Marinette slash Peshtigo, 45 minutes away from Green Bay.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're up there.
Yep.
Yeah, you are. Well, uh, yeah, Green Bay. Wow. So do y'all have to go into Green Bay to do shopping? You know,
Um.
major stores.
Oh yeah, because Green Bay has a lot of things. Marinette only has basically like Walmart and
Yeah,
like the grocery stores and
right.
like some clothes stores, but then there's Green Bay that has like a big mall with
Yeah,
all these stores, and it has
yeah,
extra stores out of the mall everywhere.
right.
And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's good. At least you got somewhere to go, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah. So and I went. Uh, Me and Mike were supposed to go to Germany, but he decided not to go and stayed there in Mexico, and I went over there and then stayed there for I guess probably 6 weeks. Well, that was it's kind of weird in Germany. You go to the same place every night. It's
Mm,
kind it's kind of weird, but it works for them. So uh,
right.
you know, but I didn't go for auto. We went for the other another group there. So it was okay. It was the mats were pretty hard though. It's and you're in a tent, which was kind of weird.
Oh,
Yeah, like a
huh.
big canvas tent with metal chairs. So it was
What, like
kind
a
of
carnival tent?
yeah, kind of like a
Hmm.
carnival tent. And they come there every year, same time, same bat station, the whole 9 yards, man. So um, it was it was pretty good though. Something different. Worked with the guys from England, which was pretty interesting because those guys can really go. They can work. Those those guys from England, man. Uh,
Yeah.
so and then we were there with let's see what Americans were there. The Mongolians. What was his name? Uh,
Mongolian Stomper?
yeah, something like that. Pete something. He's passed away now. Uh, he was there. Me and the rest were guys from England and Spaniard. Let's see, guy from England, and then a France, and then an Italian guy. And but it was pretty good. It was, and a German guy, of course. Got to have a German guy.
From all, so people from all around the world, basically.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty wild in Germany. Pretty wild in Germany.
Such
Like
as like,
go ahead.
what was wild part of.
Like uh, the girls with the dogs in the window.
Mm,
Those were located in the back of the police station in the alley. So that was pretty. I was like, what? Uh, yeah, just and lots of X-rated movie houses. I mean, like right on
mm.
the street. Beer at the McDonald's.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, which was like pretty unusual, and but just lots of uh, X-rated stuff there, man, on the streets. You just gotta be careful there, Walk. Oh no, thanks, no thanks,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty liberal there, man. I had never seen nothing like that because we had went to South Africa, right? So the the guy says for uh, he asked if when we get to the airport if we have any triple X movies because you can get up
Mm.
to 10 years in prison there for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, no, 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 no. So damn, that's worse than a loaded gun in the States, huh? Oh my God. Yeah. So what kind of guests do you have on your podcast? Mostly wrestling or what?
Sorry, what? You cut out there for a second.
Do you have mostly wrestling podcasts or all kinds of stuff?
Yeah, I just stick to wrestling
Yeah.
just because otherwise it's really out of my comfort zone to interview other than wrestlers because I'm not really familiar with how to ask much questions other than wrestlers because I'm more of like the fan of wrestling.
Right.
And
Right.
I've had a couple people on that haven't done wrestling, like Butterbean. I've had him on. He
Oh yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
really a wrestler.
Hey, I saw DDP really changed his life, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow, man. Because I had no idea he was all crippled up like that, and then DDP got involved with him and just really turned him around, man. It was incredible. It was incredible, man.
yeah.
That
No, he wants
that
one more fight.
he wants one more fight. Well, I think he
Yeah,
could. I think he could do it, man. Wow,
yeah,
that was unbelievable. What transformation he had accomplished with him, man. Well, all them guys he's babysitted, man. It's
right. Yeah.
because I was in Jake came to Mexico City, him and Sherry, and he had a this huge cobra,
Mm.
and so me and him were talking, and the Mexican boys kept throwing their bags on that cobra, and you could hear the cobra started hissing, and he said, "If one more of them guys throws that bag on my snake, I'm gonna turn it loose." I said, "Oh my God." So here comes this guy, he throws his bag and hits the snake, and Jake got up, undid the top of that thing, slid that cobra out, and all those guys were messing around in the back, and here comes that cobra back there, man. They didn't know which way to go, man. And then the cobra came back towards him, and I was like, "Oh my God, that thing's gonna snap me in two or something." And he said, "Just sit there, don't move." And I'm like, "I ain't moving, I ain't moving." He just grabbed that thing by the head, man, shoved it in the bag like nothing. What? I'm like, "Oh my God, man! Wow, that thing was huge. It was like a albino cobra. That thing
Wow.
looked massive. I bet it was 10 feet long, man. Yeah, it was huge.
Imagine,
It was huge.
imagine, yeah. Imagine having to wrestle him and getting it put on you.
Yeah, or bite you.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I've been on a few shows with him. He's and I started at Wild West with Rockin' Robin, his sister. So uh, uh, he's always been, cool with me. He talks to me or whatever, but he's always been good with me, man. I haven't seen him in a long time, but uh, every time I was on a show with him, he was always friendly with me. So uh,
Yeah.
you know, he's all right. I guess he's with AEW, huh?
He was not anymore though.
No,
His contract let loose, and he went on with his way.
no. I had, man, I just haven't kept up with the business at all after I got out. I just, uh, I go back to Mexico City every year, and I still have some guys I talk to over there, but uh, as far as here in the States, I couldn't tell you what's going on, who's where, or any of that stuff, man. I don't have
Yeah.
any, I don't I don't know what's going on in New York or AEW or none of that stuff, man. I just kind of went my way and let the young guys have it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's just the way it goes, isn't it? And
Yep.
your career's over in like a heartbeat, man. I was there, did it 15 years, and it was like 5 minutes. It just
Wow.
was over. Yeah, yeah. But that's the way it goes. You do the best we can and keep a positive attitude. So,
Yep.
but so what? How big is your following?
For my following, so I started out on Instagram
Uh huh.
with my interviews because when I started out, I wasn't so big. Obviously, I didn't have like a whole setup. All I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
doing, I just had my phone in my hand in my living room on the couch.
Oh yeah.
Um, and on Instagram, I have over 2,000 followers,
Oh well. Nice.
and um, so I started off there. My first ever like big name was probably Angel Orsini from ECW.
Uh huh.
I had on, and then it just kind of escalated from there, having other big names like the Maestro from WCW, then Mario Mancini, um, and this on, and then a couple or so years ago, I discovered wanted to move. I moved into somewhere else to do my interviews, and then I moved into another place, and then I just recently got to right here in my room,
Oh okay.
like a few weeks ago. So now I do it off of Facebook.
Oh okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it works. You know,
Yep.
it it uh, it just takes time. Everything takes time.
Right. Yep.
Start small and keep growing as time goes on. It's everything's progressing. So,
Right.
but do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would you say has been like the stiffest wrestler you might have gone in the ring with?
That would have to be. Uh, Probably Brody. I would say, yeah. He he just if he felt like it, he would hurt people, you know. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, probably Brody was the worst uh, that I'd had ever experienced in the business. You know, the rest, the only thing I can say good about that was it taught me a valuable lesson, and that
Mm,
was uh, that won't ever happen again.
right.
So, on one side you say, what an ass, and then on the other side you say, thanks for the lesson,
Yep.
Yeah, So, uh, you can't, you really can't get mad. You just kind of move on and uh, chalk it up for experience, and then it just won't happen again. Or
Hmm.
if it does, they're gonna get a receipt. So
Right.
it's I mean, because I worked with the Samoans and uh, Yokozuna, Rakishi, Samu, Fatu. Never had a problem with those guys, man. Always got along with them. Uh, Terry Gordy, never had a problem. And this guy, just I don't know what. Who knows? Maybe he didn't like how I looked or something. I don't know. But it was just a valuable lesson, and so I just chalked it up and moved on. You know.
Yeah.
So, but that's all we can do. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Is there any wrestlers who, like, any of your favorite wrestlers growing up? Who were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
the Funks, Harley Race, Ricky Romero, uh, Scott Casey, the Von Erichs, because I was still in, I guess I was still in probably freshman in high school. Uh, all Iceman, King Parsons, you know, I like that whole Dallas, uh, the Freebirds, the whole Dallas thing was so well uh, organized and ran. I mean, how we saw it, it looked like it ran like a clock. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm sure, if you ask some of the guys, they're like, "Are you kidding me?" Because there's always, something. But uh, that whole world class, man, I thought that was great. But as far as being a kid, man, my favorite was Ricky Romero. He used to go out and throw these little sombreros out to the crowd, and people loved him, man. He was great, man. And Wahoo McDaniels, you know,
Yeah.
he was great too, But yeah, that was some of my favorites, man. When I was growing up.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I get. Do you ever watch some of the old stuff like that, man? Like,
Not like that old.
yeah, 70s. Yeah, it's a lot different than it is right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
from what I heard, yeah, that's
yeah, yeah. Like when I was a kid, they had uh, Harley Race had a chain match with Terry Funk, and it looked like he took out his eye, and oh my God, they ran an angle on that, and it was great, man. They ended up in a cage match, and I mean, it was a bloodbath, dude. It was a blood, but yeah, it was good, man. They You don't see stuff like that anymore. You know,
right. Yeah.
yeah. But
What would you consider to be a weakness and a strength of yours in wrestling?
uh, weakness, strength was my weight, and weakness was sometimes I wasn't as fast as the other guys because I was 505, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, and those Mexican guys were, you know, very fast. You
Yeah.
no no super heavyweights there till they started bringing in like Mike or Haku or Jack Victory, uh, and the giant Silva was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a
What
guy
was
that
he like?
he was very friendly, man. Really nice guy. Uh, yeah, he could eat, man. He his
Right.
he would get out of the gym in the mornings and go eat breakfast. Uh, 12 egg omelet with bacon, sausage. I mean, that thing was humongous, man. And he ate like
Right.
that 6 times a day, man. 6 times a day.
Jeez.
Yeah, but yeah, I go, man, I can't eat that much. And he said, yeah, I have to eat 6 times a day. And then
Wow.
at the end of the day, he would drink an espresso coffee, and it looked like a teacup, like a tiny doll teacup in his hand, man, sipping that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny, man. I'm like, really? Oh my god. Yeah, but he was a nice guy, man. I don't think he would hurt a fly unless you just made him mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. I liked him. I liked him when he was part of the oddities in
yeah,
WCW,
yeah, yeah,
WWF.
yeah. I don't know why they broke those up, man. They were getting over.
Yeah.
I I didn't understand why they broke them up, but who knows? Vince is always knows what he wants to do.
Yeah.
But that's where he ended up, man, in Mexico. And then he actually went and did he went into the MMA.
That's what I seen. I thought I had him. I think I have him as a friend on Facebook,
Oh,
and I
really?
was I was considering if that was him or not because I couldn't tell because he didn't have any pictures. But it said he was on or is in MMA now, and I
Yeah,
didn't know if that was actually him.
yeah. But I heard he retired. Because I saw one of his fights against a Japanese guy. Man, it was a pretty vicious fight, man. But yeah, he went to MMA. Yeah.
Hmm.
What is he under?
I think he's under his real name, Paulo Cesar da Silva.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Pablo del Silva.
Paulo,
Oh, Paulo.
Paulo. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Paulo. Okay. Well, I want. Where's he at? I wonder.
I think it says he's still in Brazil.
Well, because he was living in New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he may have moved back uh, to Brazil. I'll have to check that out, man.
Oh, yeah. He's just under because I'm on it right now. He's just under Paulo Silva, Paulo Silva. So,
Okay, I'll have to
and
look him.
yes, yeah, it says he still lives in Brazil. So,
Okay, well, good for him, man. You know, his kid was like, because I said, how old's your son? He said he's 13, and he was 13 and 6'1" and a 14 shoe.
shoot, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah. So he said, like, us three go to, this was in the 90s, right? They said,
Yeah.
if we go to Red Lobster, uh, my family and me, it's $100. That, I'm like, wow, okay. They're eating, man. So, I mean,
Right.
nowadays it wouldn't, $100 and it's wouldn't nothing, but uh,
Yeah.
in the 90s, that's a pretty good, dinner, man. Uh, Especially, you're 13. How much are you going to eat? I guess if you're that big, you can eat a lot, you know. But yeah, I'm glad I hadn't talked to him in, oh man, 10 years probably. So maybe I'll look him up. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I tried getting a hold of him to do an interview.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did he? He didn't reply.
No, he didn't see the message.
Oh
But I don't think he's active much on Facebook. I don't think because he doesn't post much from what I see.
yeah. Well, he probably can't afford to. I mean, like, you know what I mean. That's not the safest place.
Yeah,
You know, that's the you know. I I try not to you know post anything when I go over there either. You know, 'cause you just never know, man.
right.
Yeah. So, uh,
Was it hard traveling from show to show for you? And what is like the worst or best thing about traveling?
uh, well, the worst thing was sometimes I had to buy two tickets. Because they because I would take up a seat and a half. And like a lot of times over there, you have to ride the bus. And the guys, when I first went, uh, they didn't help me at all. They wouldn't help you. They didn't tell you,
Mm,
hey, get on this bus. This is the best bus, or this is the worst bus, or so you'd be riding some bus with chickens and barnyard animals, and they'd be on the nice bus. That was difficult, and the best part was I could buy, like, they would allow me. two bus tickets, like two seats, so I didn't have to sit next to anybody. Uh,
Right.
yeah, and I could get a seat and a half on an airplane, and they would send the midgets with me because they only took up a half a seat, and I took up a seat and a half. So that was good. Uh, and then I guess the other thing was getting used to the food. Because it's not not like here, and your system has to change, and man, you feel kind of bad. And then the altitude there is 7,200 feet above sea level, so
Oh wow.
you can you're gasping for air, man. Especially at my weight, until you get in shape, you're out of air every 5 minutes, man. It's difficult because it's not like here. Well, we'll take the elevator up. No, there's a lot of places don't have elevators, so you have to climb the stairs, and it's just it's a lot of work, man. It's not like being in the States at all.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of Americans went over there and they left right away. The food, the uh, traffic, the all the there's 25 million people there, man. It, it's a busy place, 24 hours a day. And people just don't. They're like, oh my god, I can't take it. Riding buses. You mean you're not going to fly me? American attitudes, man. They're just that's the first thing you have to throw out the window when you go somewhere foreign country. Stop being an American because it'll get you in trouble. Once you leave these shores, man, you're not you got to obey their rules. Not American rules. So that's what we forget as Americans.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically it, man. Just adjusting to the altitude and riding buses and the size of things. Because everything here is big.
Yeah.
Not Yeah. So it was that adjustment. You know, basically.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Is there any time a fan has seen you in public and got like super surprised and or excited?
Uh, oh my God. Yeah. They were really uh, the Mexican fan is just uh, they will not leave you alone, man. You can't go anywhere. I know why those guys wear masks now, man. It it, it was it's crazy how they'll stop you. Uh, for instance, I went to Antonio Pena's house one time, and he said, "Oh, come to my house, relax, get away from the city." Da, da, da. So I went out to his house, and there was one kid saw me go in that house, and for 2.5 hours, man, I was signing autographs. They were running the kids through the house, and I was signing autographs, and they were pulling them out the front
Oh jeez.
for 2.5 hours, man. I said, I thought you said come here and relax, man. Yeah. And then we went to a place one time to buy a refrigerator. Me and my wife. I told her I can't go in here. No, you're gonna go help me, blah. And again, man, we were there almost 3 hours signing autographs. Man. It just gets crazy.
Wow.
It gets crazy there, man. Crazy. But for the most part, not they just want an autograph and touch you, and then they're on their way. But uh, you know, they don't really get you know crazy, but it is crazy, that they'll just
Right.
wait there and sign for you to sign something, Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I I I I couldn't believe it, but yeah, it's not like here, they keep everybody away. It's more like it's more like that now, because but in the 90s they didn't even have railing around the ring.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no like no protection, no cops, no, you're on your own, man. Yeah,
Wow.
it was really dangerous. I'll just put it like that. Especially like if the if the guys from EMLL went to what was then called Torreon, which was another big arena on the other side of town. Those people hated people from Arena, Mexico, and you know it was horrible, man. They try to stab you, or
Oh,
it was
wow.
bad, man. But we just had to watch each other's back, Uh, but yeah, that's just part of the business, Uh, I don't
Right.
I don't know if you know. There used to be a guy named Ken Timms, Fabuloso Blondie. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Okay, he brought two guys uh, to Mexico called the L.A. Police, and actually they are. Uh, do you know the two twins in Ocean 11?
The headhunters?
No, the Ocean 11, the movie. There's two twins in that movie. Those those
No.
those two guys were in Mexico as the L.A. Police, and
Ah.
yeah, they're pretty good sized guys. And so Acapulco, and because I wouldn't move, the guy wouldn't shoot him. Wouldn't shoot one of those brothers. That's how
Mm.
mad. That's how mad they got.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, I told him, get to the back, get to the back. Why? Get to the back. That guy wants to shoot his gun off at you. Oh, oh my God. Oh, I didn't know what you were saying. I couldn't hear. I'm like, man. Yeah, the guy was like, move, move. He couldn't shoot around me, He's afraid. He was afraid he's going to hit me, so he didn't shoot.
Mm.
Just stuff like that, man. It's crazy, but you have all those stories to remember. That's good. That's good. Oh, but yeah, that's yeah. Reno, Mexico in the 1990s were it was it was no matter where we went, man. Uh, we were sometimes working 5 shows a day on
Wow.
Sundays. up to 5 shows a day on Sundays. It was so busy, man. It was crazy. Yeah, yeah. So, but
Yeah. Have you ever witnessed somebody getting like attacked ever or
yeah, yeah.
anything?
Um, we were at that arena that I was telling you about, Minos,
Yeah.
and there was a guy gonna. Do you know Conan? You know who Conan is?
Oh yeah, I met him.
Well, they were gonna stab him in the back, and I knocked the guy out.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was dangerous back then. There was no security at all. No security, man. We would have we would be in Monterrey, Mexico, at where they fight the bulls, and there'd be 40,000 people there, man,
Wow.
with no security. So if you know a riot started, well, uh, you know, you're on your own. Get to the back. It's just
Yeah.
one of them deals. So, but it yeah, that happened. Uh, the stab. Well, it was almost a stabbing, but and that's really probably the only thing in my whole time over there. That I can remember offhand.
Right.
That was bad. You
Yep. If you could go back in time and wrestle anyone that has passed away, who would that be?
know. Gosh, I think Gordy. I think I would. I think Gordy. I think he was one of the best ever. You know, big
Yeah.
guys, big guys. Uh, him or Harley Race. I
Oh
would.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Harley was just. I mean, he was one of the toughest old guys. But uh, I would have liked to just, even if he beat the crap out of you, just for the
Right.
just for the lesson. You
Yep. Do you usually get along or become friends with like most of your opponents that you are in the ring with?
Do I what now?
Do you usually get along or become friends with most of your opponents?
Uh, no, not. I really didn't associate with anyone other than like Super Astro uh, and Pirate Morgan. But other than that, and Vince Apollo, that's about it. I really didn't hang out with anybody or uh, you know go drinking or any of that stuff with anybody, man. I
Yeah.
I did hang out with uh, in the mornings. Me, Haku and Chavo Guerrero would have breakfast just about every morning.
Oh,
Yeah, great guys, man. Chavo helped me out a lot in Mexico when I first got there. And then Haku came later, a couple of years later, and what a great guy, man. I know everybody, says watch out, but he was a great guy, man.
right.
I really enjoyed the time you know we had breakfast together.
Yeah. Would you rather do a blindfolded match, handcuffed to your opponent, or a dog collar?
I think I'd rather do a dog collar.
Yeah.
Those blindfold matches are. I mean, they can be a lot of fun for the crowd. But I
Yeah.
just would rather do a dog collar, man.
Right. I mean, also in a blindfolded match, you could cheat too,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
without the opponent knowing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But the fans, if you're the bad guy, they give you away. He's looking.
Yeah. Yep. And then they just have your opponent just has to go on with it and act like they don't hear the crowd.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
If a movie was made about your career, who would you want to play you?
Um, hmm. Wow. See. You know the what's the movie called? Uh, you know the movie Mask
Yeah, with
with
Jim Carrey.
no with Cher.
Share the movie Mask.
Yeah, is it called Mask? Where her son was uh he had kind of a deformed face. You ever see that movie?
Oh no, but I just looked it up. Is it Eric Stoltz or Sam Elliott?
Well, okay. There's a guy, a motorcycle guy named Dozer. I don't know what his name. He's been in several movies. He's a big guy. We'd have to have a big guy play me, man.
Dennis Berkeley.
There you go.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, that would actually he would fit well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because I see in one of his photos he has overalls on and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
He'd play you perfectly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you got to if you got to choose the stipulation for your match, what stipulation would you choose?
Oh, what? What is it? What wish?
If you got to choose the stipulation for your
Oh,
match, what
oh,
stipulation would you choose?
hair versus hair. Those are a lot of fun to do, man. Especially,
Right.
especially if both guys have a lot of hair.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are they just because for one, when like over there, if somebody goes, we're gonna either take the mask off or cut the hair. Well, 90% of the time, the people know that the mask ain't coming off, right? But
Right.
but with two guys that have full heads of hair, they don't know left or right, so it's better, much better. So that's the stipulation I would hair versus hair. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Is
Because
there any reasoning? Or no, go ahead.
because in the not like how short Mike's hair was, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we had three-way a three-way match or in Monterey, and the loser had to cut their hair. So they give him 5 grand for his hair.
Mm.
I mean, I said, dude, you don't have any hair. But yeah, they were they were they were paying some serious money back then over there, man, for hair.
Yeah,
So
5 grand. I mean, I'd
yeah,
take it.
yeah, he didn't have. I said, you don't have any hair, dude. Yeah, but
I mean,
that,
hair does grow back over time, so
yeah, it sure does, man. Yep, that's right. So
is there any reasoning behind why you didn't wear a mask ever?
yeah, I was just too big, man. He couldn't have hid me. Just and man, it's hard to breathe. Those masters, I don't know how those guys do it sometimes. Hard to breathe and you know your eyes, vision, and but they grow up wearing those things just about. They start
Yeah.
training. They start training. Some of those guys start training when they're 10 years old.
Yep.
You know, so
Right.
we're just not. We're just not yeah, we're gonna put a mask. It just don't go over here.
Yeah. What would you say has been like the best compliment you have received, either at like a show or convention, like best fan compliment?
Uh, the best compliment I ever got was I had not been back in 10 years, and I went to a show at Arena Mexico, and the guy actually was a sports reporter, and he said uh, he I was in this little room, and he says I got into sports reporting because I used to come and watch you wrestle on Friday nights. So
Wow.
I started reporting the lucha, and I'm like, man, you just don't. I mean, you just don't know how many lives you affect.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. That you're you just never think you're gonna affect anybody like that, and or you never really think about it, and somebody says, hey, thanks to you, I do this now, and you know, I'm like, wow, you know, that's pretty amazing. Are they?
Right.
Are you, like uh, at least once a week? Somebody will text me or something and say, I still have your autograph from 1990, and I'm like, wow. I'm 40 years old now, or just I'm like, oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah.
It's just who would have thought, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Which wrestler has given you like the best advice and or compliment?
Uh, I'd have to say, uh, Chavo Guerrero. He, he told me, when I got to, because I was really lost when I got to Mexico City because of the language, because I didn't speak
Yeah.
any Spanish or anything. And he was there, and he'd say, "Do this and do that, and don't do this and don't do that." And hey, take me. Hey, let's go eat tomorrow. And he would give me tips, on uh, how, because the crowds are different there, and he would
Mm-hmm.
just help me out with that. And I thought, he don't even know me, but he's helping me out anyway. So I actually tagged with him the first probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks I was there. So he was very, very helpful to me, you know, uh, as far as, getting over and helping me get over and in certain things. So I
Yeah.
always appreciated that, man. And I seen him right before he died. He was at a show, and I hugged him and told him, I really appreciate all he did for me, and you all that stuff. And so I really always appreciated that, man, what he did. Because a lot of people won't help you in the business. They're,
Right.
yeah, they're like, you're on your own, dude. Which is too bad, it's too sad it's like that. But I guess in some ways, you got to be very jealous in this business or you'll lose your spot.
Yeah.
It's it's always tough to know.
Yep. How long did it take you to learn Spanish?
Um, Probably about uh, where I could get around and order food and all that. Probably like about 9 months. Because
Mm.
you're just there, you don't. I didn't I didn't speak any English that whole time. I mean,
Yeah.
first the first year, I wasn't speaking any English at all. So, and the way I learned was the kids would ask me the same question every night. How much you weigh? How tall are you? Where are you from? Where are you going? Uh, how'd you get here? You know, basic basic stuff. And so every day you hear the same question, right? It was weird.
Right.
So you hear the same question, so you just start learning the whole, how those words sound, and then you say, oh, okay, well. And then you just start, you say, "Oh, okay, that's what that means. That's what this means." And so it really didn't take a lot of time, you know. So he came home with a new language.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 months doesn't sound that long.
No,
Definitely. And then being there for 6 years.
yeah, yeah. But if you don't, but if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yep.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Do you still speak good Spanish to this day?
Yeah, pretty good. My wife says no, but yeah, she's uh yeah, I still have to practice. Well, we're in San Antonio, so it's heavily Hispanic here, man. So that helps.
Oh yeah. Yep. Did you like being a heel or baby face more in wrestling?
You know, I was a baby face the whole time I was working, man. The whole 15 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. When I went to over there to Mexico City, the promoter, I told him I want to be a baby face, and he said, "Well, you can start out as a baby face, but usually the people won't accept it, and they'll turn on you right away." I said, "Well, let's just try it anyways." And man, I didn't have a problem at all. So he's like, "Man, I can't believe that they've never liked Americans." And I said, "Well,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not American." That's what I told him. But yeah, it worked out good for me, man. So
Right. Do you regret not being heel at all?
no, no,
Yeah.
I don't regret it. I didn't miss it.
Yeah, because
You,
I know a lot of people say that being a heel is easier than being a baby face.
the only time I was a heel is they sent us to uh, Baja California, and for whatever reason, I came out and with the baby faces, and they booed me. So right there in the middle, right there before the match started, me and another guy, he went to baby face, and I switched over to heel, and they liked it better. Crazy.
Yeah.
But I said, some Northern Californians. They don't know what the hell they want anyway. So that
Yeah.
was really the only time. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know what that was about, really. So
Yeah. Maybe something
yeah,
didn't
maybe
go right.
I don't know, but and that's the first time I ever been there.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know, kind of weird, but I did it. We just switched, and everybody was happy. So
Yeah.
I'm happy when they just give me my envelope.
Right.
Yeah,
And you can leave.
yeah, yeah. Shower and leave. Yeah.
Yeah. What are some things you like doing after most of your wrestling matches and wrestling events?
Uh, well, sometimes we go out to eat or go just hang out at the hotel, and sometimes you just had to get back on a bus and start traveling again. So there really
Yeah.
wasn't time to, you know, go out to a club or we did go out to clubs, but sometimes there just wasn't time, because you're traveling 8 hours to the next town. It was,
Right.
yeah. So like to go. I like to go to the bars and uh, go out to eat or just hang out and get grab some beers and hang out in the room. Do that before too. So
Right. Yeah. Are there any times like you didn't get any sleep and like the next day you had to wrestle?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're going to the next town, it's 8 hours away, and you got to sleep on a bus.
Hmm.
You don't sleep. You it's
Yeah.
too hot. It's too cold. It's uncomfortable. Uh, yeah, you're hungry. You're tired from yesterday. You've been on the road 6 days already. It's just you're just miserable, man.
Yeah.
But that's that's what we chose. So it's
Yep.
yeah, it is what it is.
Right. Is there any stories of you having like stalkers?
No, no, no.
That's good.
Yeah, I've heard some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Art they robbed Art Bar. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, he I don't know. He met some girl and took her back to the room, and they had been going out for a couple of nights or whatever. I don't know. And next thing you know, he all his stuff was gone. Yeah.
Hmm.
That I know that's happened.
Yeah. She was
Yeah.
probably just using them for the money.
Yeah. 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 So
Yep. Was there ever times in your career you ever got like kicked out of a wrestling show you were wrestling at?
no, I always showed up and on time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never give them an excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any stories of like any backstage heat that you've seen between multiple wrestlers?
Mm. No, not. uh, no, not. I mean, not with the boys. I mean, like when we were when we were in South Africa, the promoter would what he was doing was he was booking these shows, and then we would go to the shows, and he would cancel them,
Mm.
and then he didn't want to pay us. So we got to his office, and me and Tony Atlas were going to hang him out his two-story window, because we're in South Africa, And
Yeah.
we, oh my God, Tony Atlas was infuriated, man. He said, let's throw him out his window. I'm like, Tony, we're not, take it easy, man. So, but yeah, his brother ended up calling the police, and they broke into the office with SWAT. So that was nice. Uh, but you know, other than that, and then when we were in South Africa at the tennis courts, uh, the people rushed the ring, and we had to fight our way out of there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that
Like
was a mess.
a big crowd of people.
Yeah, yeah, probably like 5,000.
Oh jeez.
They actually brought the dogs, and the riot squad brought the dogs and turned them loose on the people. Yeah, it was, it was a mess, man. So
Yeah,
you, you,
I
you
bet.
can, yeah.
Would you rather join uh, DX, NWO, APA, or BWO? If you know any of them.
Uh, APA,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm not. I like Simmons, man.
Right.
Yeah, Simmons and Bradshaw. I like those guys, man. I thought they had a good group. You know.
Yeah, they did. The name that you got had Santa Grundy. Where did that come from? And you use that only for like a couple events and shows. So, what was the reasoning behind using that name?
It's because uh, Tony Fania wanted me. I did the whole month of December. I did the Santa Claus. I dressed up like Santa Claus and went all to all the arenas, give out
Ah,
give out toys and uh, take pictures and all that stuff. That's why. That's what that was.
oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, they had me a suit made and everything, man. Yeah, I even worked in it. It was it was pretty good. I mean, the kids loved it. I did
Right, of course.
throwing balls, and I had a big duffel bag full of balls and dolls and all kinds of stuff, man. I'd give out to the kids.
Yeah. Do you still have some of like your original ring worn gear from back in the day?
Yeah, I still got my overalls. Yeah, I still have my overalls up there in the closet. Uh,
Nice. Yeah.
because I use those same. I don't know if you ever saw me and Tugboat Taylor. Uh, we were the Buffet Brothers with Shawn Michaels.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that's the same overalls I had when I worked at CMLL. I just put ham bone on there on the back
Oh,
of it.
really?
Yeah, yeah, that was a good gimmick, man. That because
Yeah.
we would uh we would come out with the first time we came out, uh we had an ice chest, and then a midget would pop out of the ice chest.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they loved that, man. That was great. That was a good people were liking that thing. The Buffet Brothers. Come in the ring with a Subway sandwich or Snickers bars or something, bag of chips. That was crazy.
yeah. Yeah, I think you and Tugboat Taylor were a great tag team back in the day.
Yeah, it worked good, man.
Yeah. What was it like getting to work with Shawn Michaels?
But he he was okay. I mean, uh I don't think he had the right people in charge. Uh,
Yeah.
first first he had Jose in charge, and Jose was stealing our money, and then he had that goofball, his friend, whatever his name is. Oh god, what is his name?
Marty Jannetty?
No, not Marty. The other guy. He did the
Triple
huh?
Triple H?
No, not Triple H. No, this guy was he tried to do that Max Moon in the WWF.
Oh, Paul Diamond?
Paul Diamond. Oh my god, what an airhead, dude. Yeah, that guy was bad, 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 man. And it's too bad because that really, I mean, we were drawing people, and then,
Yeah.
Vince was gonna let Sean use some of the guys that weren't being used in New York, and you know come in here and like he brought the Road Warriors in. Uh, God, he brought them into a little this town. There's probably only 300 people in this whole town, and
Mm,
he brought the Road Warriors in, and you couldn't fit another person in the auditorium, man. I mean, there was more people in the auditorium than there lived in the town, because they were coming from all everywhere to see the Road Warriors, man. It was
right. Yeah.
crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. So I think if Jose and Paul wouldn't have been in charge, and he would have uh, had more of his head in the game, and I think that would still be running today, man. But yeah, it's just the way it goes, man. Leave it to the boys,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, he's okay.
Yeah. Were you ever approached or asked by anyone to be part of the Hillbilly family in WWF with Hillbilly Jim, Uncle Elmer, and
Uh-uh.
them?
No, nah, I wish, but
Yeah.
nah. I think they were on the downslide when I was getting in the business, because I think they had made him like the ambassador or something right when I came in, to right when I went into WCCW, man. So
Yeah.
they're not gonna. use another, go back with hillbillies again. I didn't see it.
Right.
I could have probably. I almost told them, to get a hold of Blackwell and see if I could be like his son or his brother or something like that, and do that, go that way. You know, that because I could have done that also. You
Oh
know,
yeah, that would have been cool.
Jerry Blackwell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or even Haystacks Calhoun would have been
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah.
What was it like getting to team with Mike Shaw, and how did you guys connect? I know you mentioned Mexico a bit earlier, but how did
Well,
you guys just connect and become friends, really?
well, I knew he had left NWA or Turner, right? And so was thinking that, you know I need maybe that would be a good fit over there. Come bring him in like as my brother, and because those people never seen anybody as big as us. Just
Yeah.
so I called him, and then uh, at the time I couldn't go into Mexico because I was waiting for them to fix my visa. And I told him, I said, I can't go in right now because I have to wait for my visa. But they brought him in and just put him up at the hotel, and he was there like, I guess, 2 weeks. They paid him $600 a week to be there.
Wow.
Yeah, uh, and we had a little problem. I got there and I went to his room, and he says, "Hey, what's this letter? I'm reading a letter, and it's from that uh, Mongolian stomper, whatever he is, from Tennessee." And it says, uh, trying to start some crap between us two. And I told him, I said, well, if you believe that, you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. You can go home, or if you think I was here talking to Paco about not bringing you in and all this, oh man, it was a whole bunch of lies. And
All
I said,
right.
man, I haven't even been here. And so I said, if you want, we'll go to the office, and you can ask Paco. I'll just sit there with my arms crossed because I haven't been to the office. And he says, well, I've been here 2 weeks and I haven't got paid and I need some money. And I'm like, well, let's go and tell Paco. He's a nice guy. He gets it. And so we went over to the office, and I said, go ahead and ask him. And he says, hey, has he been here? And he said, no, it's the first time in a year he's been here because we couldn't get him in because of his visa. Yeah, after that, I said, what? Why am I going to try and cut your throat before it's stupid. But after
Yeah.
that, everything was cool. So I don't know if he ever wrote the guy or whatever. I don't really care. I said, well, that tells me what kind of a person that guy is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, it got over, that gimmick got over, very, very well. we were drawing huge crowds, man.
Yeah.
So, and they could also split us up and go, he could go this way and I could go that way or whatever, they wanted to do. So, but it worked out great, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah. And he was there probably a year, almost probably a year.
That's not bad.
No, not bad and he was trying to get into New York, you know. And the next thing I know, I saw him with that Bastion Booger
Yeah.
crazy, crazy ass gimmick. Yeah, I guess you want to work like that. Uh,
Yeah.
but to each you got to feed your family.
Yep.
So
I I
I,
doubt that it was his idea probably.
no, I doubt it, man. Sometimes those guys ask and ask and ask, and then they'll bring them up there and put some asinine gimmick on them just to embarrass them. You know,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, why? Why? Why do you want to embarrass yourself? That's basically what they did with. Uh, oh shoot! Uh, I worked in WCW with him. Bill. They put that like he was a hockey guy.
Oh, Bill Irwin, the Goon.
Bill Irwin. Oh my God. Yeah, they made an ass out of him too. you know, well, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy though.
Then there's Eugene.
Huh?
Eugene.
Yeah. But yeah, Eugene. Yeah, yeah. Well, that guy can work though. Uh,
Yeah.
I saw Irwin in an interview he was doing with Hannibal, I guess maybe. Oh my God, he was drunk. Oh, he was loaded. I'm like, wow, that's how sad. But the way it goes. I guess he's up there in Minnesota.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so, yeah.
so, but yeah, I worked a few shows for New York, but nothing, nothing. I never got to. They never asked me to stay or this or that. But I worked a few shows for them, which was okay. I
Yeah.
got I got to do it. You know.
Right.
So.
What was your reaction to getting asked to work for WCW, and do you know if there was any reasoning why they didn't keep you for longer?
No, I never. They were kind of like when I was coming in, or like starting, and uh, McMahon was phasing out the big guys. He was going more for steroids. The steroid look. That's what he
Right.
wanted. And guys my size were being phased out. You know, so that was another downfall that I had, against me was they were doing more of the steroid guys and not the big guys. So,
Yeah.
well, you know, I still had a good, I had a good run over there. So I can't complain, man.
Right. I mean, you get to say you worked for them, so I mean,
Yeah, I was on top the whole time. So, uh, you know, what else you want? And I originally, like, because when I went in, right, I didn't. Nobody knew me. I wasn't known. Um, so I actually just, you know, I said if I could work uh, 5 or 6 days a week and go in and make 600 a week plus my hotel and all my expenses, that's pretty good. Uh,
yeah.
but I never made that, man. I'm,
Mm,
you know, I made probably 300 a night. You know,
wow.
so I did okay. You know, too bad the money don't last. So
Right.
20, 30 years later.
Yeah.
Uh, everybody says, "Oh no, there's no money there. There's no money there," but that wasn't true, man. There's money there.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was the backstage atmosphere like in WCW?
Uh, well, they were. It was, like uh, uh, well, when they had Nash and all them there, was pretty
Yeah.
intense. It was pretty intense because there was so many you know clicks here and there and here and there, and nobody was getting along, man. Especially uh, after Hogan came in and uh, all that. The NWO was kind of they were just kind of running the show. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even before that, look at the talent they had, man. They had Sid Vicious, Undertaker, Mick Foley. They had Austin. What were they thinking?
Right.
I mean, that's. I mean, like I started with Undertaker and Foley and Sid. Uh, I started with those guys, man, and I'm like, man, you know, those guys could all work. We were drawing money in Tennessee. We weren't getting paid, but we were drawing money. Uh,
Right. Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's just a shame that WCW didn't have their head out of their butt to do something with those guys, man. And there you go, the egos again, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's a good thing about McMahon. I mean, he does have an ego, but he knows how to make money with guys.
Yep.
So, so there you
For
go.
sure.
You know.
Yep. How did the locker room treat you? Did you talk with anybody, or were you just by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, um, well, I just went in, shook everybody's hand, and uh, you're kind of an outcast. But Murdoch and Slater, I talked with those guys. Actually worked with those guys, and we, you know, talked with them a little bit, and uh, they were good, man. They treated me good. So, and even in New York, you when I went back there, Steve come and shake my hand, and I went over and talked to Taker, and uh, you know, so they still, you know, like nothing happened, like I was, like they weren't, superstars or nothing. So, they didn't have to talk to me, you know, give me a hug, how you doing, and all that. And they didn't have to do that. So
Yeah,
I appreciate that,
definitely. Yeah.
you know, yeah, because they don't do that with everybody. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah. If right now in your career you could come back to do one last retirement match, who would you want to go against?
Mm. And you know who I always worked good with was Okazuna, man.
Mm,
So I think Okazuna. I
yeah,
liked I liked working with him or Rakishi. Those guys were great to work with, man.
definitely.
Yeah.
Would you, if you got asked right now to do one more match, would you?
Oh no, I don't want to embarrass myself, man. There's no way I could do it. Phys-
Right.
phys- Physically, I couldn't do it. You know. I was helping a guy uh, with these trainees, like maybe a couple of years ago, and so I took a bump for one of them, like a shoulder tackle. Bro, I was sore for 2 weeks.
Oh,
I,
wow.
oh my gosh! I said, what in the hell was I thinking? Yeah. Oh my God. You know, because you're training all the time, or you're working all the time. Your body is uh, gets used. It don't even bruise anymore. But if you've been out a while and then you go and try and work, wow, you will kill yourself if you're not careful. Because I hit the mat, took a good bump, and when I felt the shock go through my shoulders, I was like, wow, what were you thinking, stupid? You know, oh my God, I felt horrible for 2 weeks. Just everything was sore. Oh man, no, no, I couldn't do it. No way.
Yeah,
You have to live that every day, every day, every day.
right. Maybe get some DDP yoga.
Yeah, I think so, man. My hips are bad. I just fixed my elbow. They took off uh, like a tennis ball size uh, growth on there of calcium.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty big. Because I lost 250 pounds, right? So the growth on my arm was huge now. It wasn't so bad when I was big, but once I got thinner, well, the growth on that arm was humongous. I had to have it taken off, man. And so I just did. I was 7 weeks in a cast.
Wow.
So, yeah, I said, well, there's this part of it's. I'm still in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you do any like types of conventions or signings, or do you ever get asked to do any of those?
No, I don't do anything, man. I've been out so long. And the other thing is that, uh, I really didn't work uh, a long time here in the States like some of the guys. And so I just don't, I don't have T-shirts or any of that stuff. So I just never did go and do it, man. I I don't think people would know who I was. I mean, not they might, but you know, as far as like interest, maybe over there because they do a lot of stuff over there. So I may try to do some stuff over there in the near future, but here nobody knows me.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna try and. I went to Vegas for uh, the Lucha convention, and I didn't. I mean, it was okay, but I won more at the casino. Nah,
Yeah.
it just didn't. I mean, I enjoyed going and all that. It was, I like doing those things, but what's the point if that I've been off of TV for 30 years and out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
Yeah. So I may do good in Mexico, but I don't think I'd do good here. Just people don't know me that well. They do, but not that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Are
I'm
they?
gonna ask.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna ask you, like, what was it like to share the ring with? And I'm gonna name a wrestler, and then ask if.
Okay. You're breaking up.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah. You're gonna somebody I shared the ring with.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask, like, what was it like to share the ring with? And I'm gonna name some
Okay.
wrestlers off, and any memory that you
Okay.
have of them.
Okay.
So, what was it like to share the ring with, and if you have a memory of Jack Victory?
Funny.
Yeah.
Oh, John. Him and John Tatum were just funny, man. It was hard to keep a straight face with them too.
Right.
And um,
Well,
you know, those guys. I had some of my first matches with those guys, and just that John Tatum, man, the faces he could make, that crybaby face was great, man. I laughed and laughed.
yeah.
Great guys.
What was it like to?
You're
What was it like to share the ring with? Hello.
Hey, sweetie. Yeah. Okay. Put you on camera.
Hello.
How come you turned off the TV?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello? Still? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Mm-mm. Okay. You
Can
hear
you?
me? Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Thought I lost you.
Yeah, for the second time.
Yeah.
So we were on. What was it like to share the ring with the Von Erichs, and are there any memories of them?
Uh, yeah, I mean, Kerry was what an incredible athlete, man. Kevin, all those guys were incredible athletes, Uh, and Kerry only had, uh, he didn't have a leg from knee down. You know that, right? And him to come back like he did, and all that, man, just incredible athletes. Those that even David. I didn't know David, but Kerry and Kevin, man, they just incredible athletes, and strong. Oh my God, strong. Yeah,
Yeah. So Carrie had a fake leg?
yeah. You know the leg he tied the bandana around.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was a fake leg. That was a prosthesis leg.
Really? I
Cause
never knew that.
yeah, the Freebirds used to take it off under the ring.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then he had to crawl under there and put it back on. Yeah, he actually hit a parked cop car on a motorcycle
Mm,
and knocked that leg off, and then
wow.
came back uh, and worked. You know, again, pretty incredible, man. If you ask me, but uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, people think, well, uh, you really have to be an athlete to do this. You know, you can't not be an athlete and do this. It just don't work. You know, I don't. That's how I see it. Uh,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, because I've seen football players come to training and not last uh, maybe one or two training sessions and give it up. You know, because they just
Yeah.
it's a different it's a different kind of uh, athleticism. You know,
Right.
it's yeah, but yeah, those guys were great, man. Great athletes.
Yeah. What was it like to share the ring with Fishman?
Oh, Fishman, Pepe. Uh,
Yeah.
he. How do you know about Fishman?
Because he's in my WWE encyclopedia,
Oh, really?
and yeah, and he used to wrestle for WWF and WCW a little bit. So
Yeah, yeah. He was a great technician wrestler, man, and one of the nicest guys you ever meet in your life. Like like him, Villanos, uh, they that whole family was what a great bunch of guys, man. And you know the kids, like Junior, uh, and there's a couple of others. Uh, those kids text me because they remember me when I was. They would come in the back and, you know, sit in my lap and think I was Santa Claus, and you know, just to hear, they text me like once a month. Hey, how you doing? And you know, well, I still hear from them, man. It's because those guys are all gone now, you know. So,
yeah,
but yeah, Pepe was what a great guy, man. And he could work, you know. Uh, he he was big in Japan. I don't know if you know that.
oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, he did. He did a lot of. He did some matches with Tiger Mask, the original Tiger Mask.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
yeah, yeah. He was a big star there, man. Uh, but he was a humble guy, you know. Yeah, yeah. I liked working with him. Yeah,
yeah,
he was already he was already up in age when I was started there, but you know he was helpful with the young guys, and he, you know, was just a humble guy, you know.
yeah. What was it like to share the ring with El Hijo del Santo?
Oh, Santo, uh, great, you know. I mean, uh, you know, he I I even to this day when he comes, you know, like San Antonio or Laredo or or whatever, we get together and I'll go to the show and go in the back and talk to him, help him sell his merch, and uh, we've remained friends, and uh, I mean, he's more reserved, only because I think of his stature in Mexico.
Yeah.
Another, because uh, like, I don't know if you do you know who his father was?
Was
You
it
know,
Dos Caras?
no, his father was El Santo, and El Santo was even buried with his mask on.
Oh, really? Hmm.
Yeah, and then there's a big anniversary every year in downtown Mexico City of El Santo.
Hmm.
Yeah, so and his father made, I don't know, what was it, like 64 movies, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah, his father was a big star, man, and so he does a lot of meets and greets, and he just has to be more reserved and watch himself, because of who he is. He has a lot to
Right.
he has a lot to lose. So, but he's a great guy. I mean, I never I never had no problem with him, and he always was friendly with me, or give me a ride, or help me out. So he's a great guy, man.
Yeah. What was it like to share the ring with Mil Mascaras?
Neil is he's got an ego the size of your room, man. He uh I mean, you have to give him his respect, because and he's I really don't know him that well, but uh smart guy, because he worked Japan, the U.S., and Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Big, big star in Japan, big star. And but a lot of guys don't like to work with him, man, because he's an ego. His ego, He never bothered me, but a lot of guys, he don't want you hit him too hard. He don't want you this. He don't want you that. Just an ego, man. But I mean, it's a nice guy,
Yeah.
But just has a big ego. And he deserves it,
Definitely.
So, eh, you know. But when I mean, but he's not going to tell the guys here, don't hit me too hard. You know what I mean. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
But I mean, the promoters will tell you, don't hit Neil too hard. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's a big ego. Yeah.
Yep. what is one thing you would tell your wrestling fans?
My one thing I would tell them, I appreciate uh, that they were fans. And if I could do, you know, if if you ever wanted me to sign an autograph or anything, just message me and I'll you send it to me a picture or whatever. I'll sign it and send it back to you. Because without the fans, this business doesn't exist.
Yep.
So, you know, I mean, I'm out now, but I still get people still from Mexico send me stuff to sign, or I still have a poster from 1990 or whatever. I sign it, I send it back to them. You know, I mean, that's just part of for me. That's part of your uh, obligation to the fans.
Yeah.
That's just I know everybody don't feel like that, but that's how I feel.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
Kind of like giving back
yeah,
for what
exactly.
they all did for your career, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't mind. I even talk to people. They'll text me, hey, okay, yeah. So I mean, I just take the time to do it. You never know what somebody's thinking or feeling, or maybe they're down today, or whatever. You don't know, man.
Right.
We've all been there.
Yep.
It only takes 5 seconds to smile and say a kind word.
Yep.
So
So for the last question I have for you is do you have any advice for do you have any advice for me to become a wrestler?
do I have any advice for you? Do you want to become a wrestler?
Yeah.
You do. So, who are you train? Are you training?
No, I'm not in training yet.
Okay. So first, find a legitimate trainer, and what I mean by that, I'm not talking about somebody that throws a ring up in his backyard and who's been in the business a year. And if you look at it this way, if they haven't been anywhere, you probably not going anywhere either. Right. So,
Right, yeah.
so, you know, they need to have credentials because, uh, do you have schools around there?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Quite a bit. What are they charging?
Um, I know there's one, and they're big named guys. There's one in Appleton, uh, the Cobra. He's charging like 500 or something of that sort. Then there's one in Milwaukee for Frankie DeFalco.
Oh, okay. Yep. Lost you. In case you don't come back, go to a legitimate trainer Uh-oh. Okay. Go
Sorry,
go. That's all right.
yeah, the internet cut me off.
Go to a legitimate trainer. Don't go to some guy, local guy that never been even to Milwaukee. Um, and make sure that um, you know start out doing shows around there, but don't hesitate to get out of your comfort zone. In other words, uh, if somebody says, "Hey, come to Chicago and work," go to Chicago and work. Um,
Yeah,
you know, don't be afraid to get out of your backyard. You have to go. You have to get out of your backyard to go anywhere. And you know,
right.
just make sure that when they're not just going to hurt you and take your money. In other words, you know, they're being stiff with you. I mean, that is part of the business, but some guys, you know, try to be stiff with guys just so they can take their money and run them off. I the DeFalco's he's a pretty legit guy, right?
Oh yeah, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, that's where I would go, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't hang around in your backyard because those guys are not going. They're doing backyard crap, and that's not where you want to be. You know, and get in the gym.
yep. I have a base gym in my basement.
Oh, you do. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
and
I just need to start.
it's not the same conditioning as you running a mile. It's a different conditioning. So uh, you know, you'll see. But if you can't, like it's hard to I mean, it's okay to run, or jog or whatever, but hit the weights and then get some ring work in, man. Let them go up there and see if you like it, you know. See if you know that's the only way you're gonna find out, man. It ain't for everybody. Some people,
Right. Yeah.
some people will say, "That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do." And then, no, that's not what I want to do. You know,
Right.
your
Yep.
your calling might be this, but you never know. And I don't say, I never say he's too small because I was uh, I was working with Rey Mysterio when he was a buck 25, dude. So
Yep.
they everything is possible. You know, that's how I look at that. So, but go to a legitimate guy, man, and
Yeah. I appreciate. Yeah.
make sure they train you right.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, anytime.
And I thank you for taking the time out to do this interview. It was a pleasure to have you on here.
Yeah, I appreciate you. We getting together, man. Uh, I know it took a while, but it finally happened. and
Right. Yeah.
and the internet didn't go completely down, so
Yeah. Not as bad as I thought.
that was successful. No, I appreciate you looking me up, man. I haven't done an interview in probably a year, man. Yeah, so
Well,
I
nice. Yeah.
I, I enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Possibly, I'd like to have you on again sometime.
yeah, whenever you want, man. I'm free. We'll do it again. Just let me know when. I don't
All
mind.
right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
All right. Yeah.
appreciate all the fans and all the people listening. And y'all have a good night and God bless you.
Have a good night.
Okay. See you later, man.
Yep. See ya.
Uh,
Bye.
Bye.